Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam the Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Mark of the Ninja, a side-scrolling stealth platformer by Klei Entertainment. Without any further ado, let's dive in. First released in 2012, in Mark of the Ninja, you'll take on the role of a nameless ninja of the Himoju clan. To keep things simple, I'm going to call him Giovanni.
Why Giovanni?
It's just common sense. All the best ninja are named after Renaissance painters. Giovanni is capable of moving swiftly and silently, and stealth will be your main weapon and shield as you take on numerically superior foes, which often bring fiercer weapons with them. When you walk, you do so silently, though running will create a little bit of noise which foes can hear if you're close by. Early on in the game, you'll get your sword and bamboo darts. With your sword, you can sneak up to an unaware enemy and silently eliminate them. Your darts can't kill, but they can be used to misdirect a foe's attention and can also be used to break small machines. It's also important to note that Giovanni can use his superhuman senses to enter a focus mode, where time is temporarily stopped, allowing you to plan where to toss items even in mid-air. Furthermore, you'll later gain access to the ability to see through walls while in focus mode, allowing you to further plan your attack or avoid enemies entirely if you so choose. As the game progresses, you'll be able to gain experience points, up to 9 in each level. 3 for achieving a high score, 3 for finding hidden scrolls, and 3 for completing optional objectives specific to that stage. With the XP from these, you can unlock various upgrades. These will give you new ways of attacking foes, the ability to run more quietly, new items to carry with you, and upgrades for existing ones. At the start of each level, you'll be able to take 1 distraction item, typically non-lethal, and 1 attack item, which is usually deadly. You'll obtain a few just by going through the game, but most will require you to gain and spend experience points. Furthermore, as you complete challenges, you may be able to unlock different styles. Your default style will be the Path of the Ninja, which is as aforementioned, but you might instead want to take the Path of the Hunter, which allows you to carry more attack items but doesn't replenish them at checkpoints. Or perhaps you'll walk the Path of Silence, which allows you to run silently and carry more distraction items, but you have to forego all methods of assassination. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses and adds different ways to go through each level. A pacifist run is almost fully doable. There's only 2 major characters that Giovanni must kill for the game to proceed. The game is divided into 11 main stages. There's also a prequel level which was originally available as a DLC, but if you're playing the modern remastered edition, it's included therein. Each level is carefully crafted with a mixture of platforming segments and stealth segments, though it's not uncommon for a section of the level to include both at the same time. You can duck into vents, climb on walls, and sometimes even along ceilings if there's something to hold on to. Enemies will often have guns, so you want to avoid facing them head on, using both stealth and fear to your advantage. Frighten a foe, and they may even lose their nerves entirely and fire on anything that makes noise, even their allies. But enemies aren't the only obstacles that you'll need to avoid, as you'll have to sneak through or around lasers, be wary of collapsing walkways, avoid landmines, and more as your adventure progresses. And on one final note, after completing the game, you'll gain access to a new Game Plus mode. The regular game already has you playing with line of sight, but here you'll have tunnel vision just like your foes, only able to see what's directly in front of you. But you will have access to all of your previously unlocked tools to take on the greater challenges at hand. Presentation-wise, the game has a smooth, cartoony look that very much reminds me of the art style of Kim Possible. Many stages will open or close with cutscenes, which are usually pretty brief, but animated quite nicely. Sound effects are, of course, quite important with this sort of game. They're all pretty much on point, while the voice acting is pretty solid all around. Meanwhile, the story isn't particularly complicated, but there are a few twists and turns that need to be discussed all the same. It all begins when the Himoju clan's home is attacked by Corporal Kelly and his men. And here we come to the part of the review where I'll be discussing the plot. If you wish to avoid spoilers, please jump ahead to the time coordinates indicated on screen. Initiate temporal distortion now. Still with me? Then don't say I didn't warn you. The game begins with Giovanni being awakened by Aura, a fellow ninja of the Himoju clan. An alarm bell is being sounded as Corporal Kelly and his mercenaries storm the compound, and Giovanni has to free as many of his fellow ninja as he can, including his sensei, Azai. As Giovanni frees him, it's hard not to hear Kelly's claim that he robbed the wrong guys. All the same, the clan vows to take their revenge against Kelly and his men, with Giovanni defending the clan at a terrible cost. Not long thereafter, the sensei explains to Giovanni that the ink from which his tattoos are made give him great strength and enhanced senses, but at the cost of his sanity slowly fading. Whenever a ninja agrees to take the tattoos, they do so with the vow that they will take their own life before falling into madness. For Giovanni, his task is clear: to take out Corporal Kelly and his employer, Karajan. The first few levels involve infiltrating Karajan's territory, slowly making your way to Corporal Kelly. Eventually, he meets a bloody end, but in the confusion, Karajan manages to slip away. Thereafter, Tsorthan, one of the older ninja of the Himoju clan and the tattooist that applies the marks, gives the second mark to Giovanni to prepare him to go after Karajan himself. Most of the journey doesn't bring any new information, but as you close in on Karajan, he begins to grow desperate, attempting to bribe Giovanni and then asking to be brought before his eye, saying that he knows what he wants. But Giovanni isn't there to negotiate. He carries out his duty and then returns home. But once back, Giovanni and Aura discover that Tsorthan has left them a note, claiming that Azai has misled them. He's traveled back to the land where the ink was found to ascertain the truth. What's more, it's clear that Kelly's attack was not unprovoked. The Himoju clan has indeed been stealing weapons from Karajan. When prompted to commit seppuku, Giovanni instead escapes, seeking out Tsorthan to see if he might have any answers. When he catches up with his old friend, he's been taken prisoner. What's more, the ink is gone, completely gone. After freeing Tsorthan and retrieving his tools, Tsorthan agrees to give Giovanni the final mark. He manages to do so just before they're ambushed, with Tsorthan being killed by the ninja of the Himoju. After laying Tsorthan to rest, Giovanni and Aura vow to kill their own sensei. But as they draw nearer to home, the side effects of the marks begin to take their toll on Giovanni. Hallucinations cause him to see things that simply aren't there, making it ever more difficult to navigate the path to his old home. But eventually, he makes his way there to confront and slay the treacherous Azai. But when Giovanni reaches him, Azai pleads with him one more time, insinuating that Giovanni already fell into madness long ago, and that Aura doesn't even exist. Is she the madness personified? Giovanni's life flashes before his eyes as he contemplates what he must do. Ultimately, the choice is given to the player. Giovanni can kill Aura, and in doing so, also kill himself. Or he can instead do what he came to do and slay Azai.
Regardless of which path you take, that is where the game ends. Was Azai telling the truth? Did the ink truly lead Giovanni to madness? We never get a clear answer one way or the other. And according to the developer commentary, this was a deliberate artistic choice. To be entirely frank about it, I find this kind of non-committal writing to be kind of lazy, but I did enjoy the rest of the tale at least. Welcome back, Chrononauts. You're just in time to join us for the conclusion.
All in all, Mark of the Ninja is still one of the best stealth games out there. It clearly takes heavy inspiration from the Arkham series stealth segments, effectively reimagining them in 2D, and doing a much better job than when the Arkham series actually tried to do 2D. The tools that you're given make sure that there's a variety of different ways you can approach every situation, allowing you to be as fierce or merciful as you'd like. Although I do wish the resolution was a little clearer, it does an excellent job in how it tells its story. It's a fairly short game, it'll probably take you about 8 hours or so to finish, but it's one that I've come back to a few times over the years and may even revisit again in the future. A decade later, it cemented itself as a classic in my mind, worthy of a respectable 8.8 out of 10.
Mark of the Ninja Remastered is currently available for PC via Steam and GOG, as well as for all major consoles. If you're interested in purchasing or learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Mark of the Ninja? What stealth titles do you enjoy? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. If you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.